Oh, bro, the way he comes in is so hard. Hello and welcome back to my channel, continuing our dive into MONSTAEX. I had just reacted to a guide of theirs, a 2021 guide. If you have not seen that, please check that out. And now we're getting into some of their more music. As I said before, I've heard some of their music before. We've done what? Rama and some others that I can't remember off the top of my head. Gambler, we've seen that one. But now we're on to their debut along with their most recent track. So we've got Trespass up first, their debut, and then we'll get into Rush Hour. I heard from the person that requested this that there are some slight connections to these songs in some way, and I always really do like when I first check out a new group to hear their most recent track along with their oldest track, their debut. It's just a really cool way to see their journey and how they've changed over time. So I'm expecting with the oldest song to be something a bit more edgy, kind of BAP-like, where their new songs I'm sensing a bit more maturity, kind of like a grown-up masculine presence there. That's what I've seen from a lot of the recent stuff anyway. Also, I had mentioned if there's anything that would be great for Patreon, I do live stages, variety shows, reality shows, album reactions, all of that stuff over there. So anything related to MONSTAEX that would be a good fit, please let me know. Consider joining us over there. React to a lot of different groups, but also subscribe here on Patreon and like this video if you do enjoy it. Let's go. Let's do it. This is MONSTAEX starting with Trespasser. Let me get them captions up. English, there we go. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
Yup.
몬스타엑스 is right. Let's go.
This style has definitely changed over time for sure. Even though this wasn't that long ago in 2015, I don't think you see so many K-pop groups doing the like what they think urban Western style is. At least this isn't overtly egregious. Well, I spoke too soon, maybe. It's okay. Ooh. The backing melodic vocals. With such a shrill, like, siren synth. Oh my god, so they were doing that from the start. From day one, they're lifting their shirt up, doing all the fanfare. This is inherent to their character. The way they were shocked by the pistol. Yeah, there's a strong connection here that's just reminding me of some third gen, pseudo second gen stuff. The melody of the track is really catchy, and the rap flows into it really well. I'm now interested to see how they handle their straight rap verses. Jeez, what is it actually doing like the parkour here? Sure, that would be a stunt double. There's a lot of personality in their delivery. That makes them stand out from the pack. I've mentioned it's a little bit of the cockiness, but not in a way where it's overly confident. It's kind of what you want out of a group like this that has this kind of sound. There's Hwanwoong. The parkour element is big in this. Oh, I like those colors. Black, white, and red. But it's not like they're just complete outward, mischievous. It's like that kind of like fun, silly. They're doing it in a very playful way. So I like that the concept isn't meant to be taken way too seriously. They play that balance to where like this is kind of all in good fun kind of thing. So is this Minhyuk here on the bridge? Oh, bro! The way he comes in is so hard! Okay, I'm falling for this a little bit more now. Hey, and there they are gambling. Oh, damn, out of the gate, their rap line is really impressive. Whew, and a really abrupt ending. Okay, huh. Oh, we're going straight to Rush Hour. That was actually very, very, great, perfect. Anyway, I am so curious, what did people think of this when it came out? So 2015, it's hard to kind of wrap my head around that time space in K-pop. Actually, I feel like that was a very transitional period of kind of generations. You're getting towards like tail end of like third gen stuff, like you'd say what fourth gen starts around 2017, 18, around then maybe. So it's just very interesting to think exactly how that was perceived back then. I would love to know for any of you that were around at the time, because it seems like now that concept specifically, just because of times, a little bit maybe more sensitive and slightly of, I wouldn't say poor taste, but you need to handle it carefully. And I think that them being a bit playful in the MV kind of handles that. I think it does a good job of separating you from it being a bit too dark and a bit too aggressive in some ways. But the song itself, I like aggressive. I come for that, the hype song, and I think this is going to work really well as a gym track. Their vocals really alleviate the kind of heaviness you get from their rap line, so they are a well-balanced group. Now, let's fast forward all the way to most recent. This came out in November of 2021, so we're 6 years in the future. And let's see how they sound now on Rush Hour. Still a police-looking element here, so... Just a little bit yeehawed up. A little yeehaw action. Cowboy at the dentist.
Eat this.
Do you say eat this? First of all, why? It's been defaulting to Korean every time now. That's just what YouTube wants to do. Did he tell me to eat it?
Eat this.
Yup. Oh, it's a straight, like, Western concept. Oh, he's got a real stank on his voice this time. Look at this growth.
Don't stop what you're feeling. 시동 걸자 baby
Ooh. Oh, it's not so like outwardly bold and brash. It's a bit smoother. The chorus. And they've got a real this kind of race car aesthetic. This has been very, I think, NCT in some ways, and SM loves this shit. I personally kind of gel with it, you know, if it fits the group, and I think it really does fit MONSTA. So I kind of like this look here that he's got. Chanting. Boomerang? Man, his vocals are so crisp. It's such a great variance that going straight from a rap verse to this. But the chorus is so smooth. Oh god, the whispered rush hour part too. Like, they don't really perform, it seems like, at 90% ever. It's always at 100 with the utmost confidence. Cool. And the staggered beat drop here, it's delayed. That's such a cool look. Very, very simple set, but with the tiles overhead and the LEDs kind of pulsing to the front, it looks so cool. He's magnetic. Like, he really completely steals the show. Like, noticed it last song, noticing it this song.
Rush hour.
The only bit of kind of a tie to the aesthetic that you get in the song is a bit of that whistling. And you had that in the intro and here in the outro, to where it's very yeehaw like. Oh, okay. So yeah, I think you get a little bit of the connection there, somewhat, very slight. Maybe you guys can point out a bit to where it's a bit more apparent in the song itself, but I just love to see that growth. You really can tell, and I think off the bat, while they had that high confidence, it's just even like doubled, tripled on top of that when it comes to Rush Hour. The two absolute best parts of this song for me are the hook of the repeated Rush Hour. This is so catchy and has so much personality. It's like the one point of the song where even in the apex of it, in the chorus, they reel it back a little bit and add a bit of panache, and I love that. It's what I've always kind of said about MONSTA, to where people know my taste of, oh, you like, you know, Stray Kids or ATs and you like some of the hype songs, this, that. MONSTA will fit in that lane, but at the same time, there is also still a bit of tact and subtlety with it. You get the sexiness, the slick nature of their delivery and their performance. So you get a little bit of both worlds, and you need that for a really, you know, a group to be successful. My other point that I really love is during the two verses, they take this out of the chorus, the bridge. It's nowhere else. I love the backing, that backing like electronic through line. adds a lot to just the throughput of the melody and kind of connects the rest of the song. I really like that as well. So yeah, Rush Hour, a winner for me. I like Trespass as well, but I think Rush Hour just is a much more complete song. Of course, it would be coming from a group that's been around now for what, 6-7 years as opposed to their debut. So yeah, this is maybe our first serious foray into Monsta X. I have seen some of their other stuff, as I said, so please check out my playlist down below. And as I said, please recommend me some stuff, maybe variety or live stages specifically. I would actually like to do live stages instead because they're the best way for me to learn faces and their performance at the same time on Patreon. So yeah, recommend those, please. Thank you guys so much. Subscribe if you're new, like this video if you enjoyed it, and let me know some more about Monsta X in the comments. I will see you next time.